Welcome back to Kibbs Studio with the final episode of Castlevania Symphony of the Night with your host Kibbs and friend
Dyson.
Did I say it right that time?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So, as I said, final episode. So if you stay tuned for the whole thing, you get to see what happens when you get the whole maps of both castles and Squeezgles. Been a long day. But mostly here, I think what happens is I just fill out the rest of the map. So you're gonna see me walking around, filling out areas, and then maybe pick up a few things.
Right, finishing up.
I got the wizard hat, which is weaker. Brings your constitution up a little bit.
Right. Now, when I first got here, I was talking about how I was going to tell you some conspiracy theories. Stuff,
yes, because Kibbs here has been jumping down the rabbit hole a lot lately.
And Colton has been telling me all kinds
Our
of
friend
stuff.
Colton, yes.
But, so the thing he found out about Wayfair, this is the furniture shopping company online and stuff. So there's some furniture sets that they will have on sale for like $15,000, like tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's sometimes they even have them for a couple million.
Okay.
Like stuff like that. It looks like just a normal set. But in the description at the end, it will say a name, like a person's name, just the first name, like Annabelle or something like that.
Are you saying they're using this as a cover-up for kids?
Yes.
As the names and whatnot to pick them up and everything?
Yes.
So like the whole...
They're buying the kids for the sex trafficking and stuff like that.
So Pizzagate is part of this whole Wayfair?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
And
is this the same company of furniture that has a bunch of buildings on one of the coasts? I can't remember which coast it is, but there's a bunch of buildings, but the thing about that is that they're not stretched out far apart.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of clustered together.
they might be, I don't know.
They're saying that these furniture buildings are like the money laundering front for Pizzagate.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm not sure. They might be. But yeah, Colton found that out, and the comments that people will leave on reviews of these things are even more like fucked up and weird.
Something that you would normally see on like a porn site or something, or...
Well, it's just weird. Like one of the guys, he screenshotted one and sent it to me. It's gone now. Like these comments will appear and they'll go away.
Huh?
Because, they're getting taken off of there. So I guess they don't get caught or something. I don't know. But
nothing goes away forever.
One guy literally said he's like, this one had a really nice pink finish in the middle. Furniture should not have anything pink. This furniture inside or anything like that. And me and Colton were like, that's fucked up.
That's a little fucked up.
Yeah. And we're like, well, he's definitely not talking about furniture there.
Yeah, that's a little
That
fucked
comment's
up.
not there anymore. But Colton screenshotted it and sent it to me on Snapchat earlier today.
Wow.
And like he still has the screenshot on his phone, but but like, man,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's really messed up. And like I told you earlier, I was like, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but if there's enough evidence and proof and stuff like that, then I get really into it.
How much more evidence do you need for it not to be mathematically impossible for it to be?
Oh, I'm already convinced with the whole Wayfair and Pizzagate and, like all this sex trafficking stuff, the elites being
like
a part of it.
I'm like,
well, it's obvious now. I mean, it really is.
Well, ever since our POTUS,
yeah,
ever since POTUS signed over the ability to read all this information, the classified information and whatnot, it's all been coming to light. I mean, no other president prior to what was it? I think after JFK.
Yeah, the JFK was the last one that tried to get
JFK
all these people.
wanted to out the CIA and everything. And that's why people think that he got shot.
Well, and he was probably also finding out stuff like this.
Exactly, right. So, that's why he was killed. And every president since then, until our current one, has signed off to where they won't release that. Actually, they signed off like a 25-year thing.
People are also pretty sure that they tried to get Reagan, but for different things. Because he was tearing down the Berlin Wall, and He was getting close to things, but he never quite got. He never quite got there.
Right.
But he was getting too close to stuff.
Nixon had his own Watergate scandal going on.
He had his own stuff going on. He was just a weirdo. Yeah. He wasn't trying to get any.
While those commies are killing little kids, I'll do something over here.
Yeah. One of my friends always says like that. One of my laughs, the kind of like chuckle I do, says I sound like Richard Nixon.
You told me about that before. Yeah.
It's the deeper one.
I always try to emulate the Richard Nixon head off Futurama.
Yeah. But I will sometimes just do a really deep chuckle, and I kind of hear it too after hearing it like in a video he recorded of me doing it. I was like, okay, I kind of get it, but he thinks it's like spot on. I'm like, well, I have a lot of different laughs, so I don't think I'm gonna always laugh like Richard Nixon. But
I'm never gonna laugh like Richard Nixon, not always.
But like, so I saw a picture. I can't find it again because I was trying to save it on Facebook, but I was at my dad's and I barely had any signal, so I couldn't save it. But it was a group photo that was like edited by the photoshopped people. It was all these famous people who have been to Epstein's Island. And just all the amount of people, the amount of famous people was insane. Yeah. And there was one guy that in the top left at first I thought was Jack Black, and I was like, no. But he just had like a similar hairdo. Okay. I had to Google who he was. I didn't know who he was. But it wasn't Jack Black. I don't even remember. Yeah. That's how like little he was, like that's how little I knew about him. I was like, oh,
well, there's plenty of pictures of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama and many others. Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah and.
But that was when I saw what I thought was Jack Black. I was like, please, no.
Please God, no.
But he wasn't. I was like. Whew.
Have you been hearing about?
But obviously,
I think it's the singer of the band Imagine Dragons. How he's part of the Illuminati. He's been making like TikTok videos, and he's been saying how the Illuminati's watching everybody. So be prepared for the Illuminati to come out. And supposedly the Illuminati's behind all the bad shit that happens in the world. But like QAnon is the people that are working with the president.
The Illuminati basically just controls how everything goes on.
The Illuminati is probably part of
the Illuminati probably fights within itself because there might be good things that happens because of them, and there might be bad shit that happens because of them.
Officially, the Illuminati was disbanded like a few years after it started, or 25 years after it started, or whatever, or some stupid shit like
that. They can be.
They
can definitely be secret enough that it's still around. Like it's.
Gallimard. This guy's kind of a bastard.
He's
got a huge reach.
Yeah. And he's also shooting black lightning balls at you.
And he kicks me.
Yeah.
Like a bitch.
You think you have that,
Chrysogen, I think is how you pronounce it, yeah. Technically, you can get two of them. Somehow you can equip both of them, because you can have one each weapon in each hand.
Oh, gotcha.
And if you hit both attack weapons like that simultaneously, it's supposed to do something more extravagant.
Gotcha. Like a spin attack from Zelda.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta go quick.
Just constantly, just around there.
Boom, level up.
Got him.
See, Dyson, that's how easy it is to level up in video games. Yeah. So you could, just level us up more often in D&D.
Right. You guys haven't even finished chapter 1 yet. We should tomorrow night, though. And we should do it pretty quickly. Because there's, like I said, there should not be really any combat unless I randomly roll the right number.
It's probably gonna happen.
Right.
Knowing our party is probably gonna happen.
I know. And there's only like 2 chances for that. So, and then you guys get to do chapter 2, and I haven't really read too much on chapter 2, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And get all the combat put into that app.
See, it's always good to prep your stuff ahead of time. See, that's where you get the gas cloud. Now my gas cloud is yellow, and
it'll damage people now?
Yeah, it'll even break torches and everything.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
But you have to be full form to pick it up, I believe.
Gotcha.
Anyways, it's good to read your material you have or prep your material early, but it's better to study it that day.
That's why, like, I've read through the whole book once, but I read what is going to happen. You know,
Right, yeah.
That day, at some point that day, I will read at least a little
read
bit.
what's going on there
to know
a certain point.
A little bit more of what's going on. The only thing I need to do more of is study the map more, and I might start just drawing out the maps because
Yeah, you're down for that?
Because it'll be easier to explain to you guys stuff.
And we can still use my minis.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm totally down for that. It was just easier to not sometimes, and like what
it depends
we do,
how big the map is in the first place.
That's a big part of it.
And when you make your own campaigns, you have the ability to control how big of a room is.
Yeah.
You know, you can make your own size, how big you need it. And
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Because you can even use those map tiles that I have.
Because Slater,
to make
he's been
things.
drawing what's going on, and then we just use like our dice for us, and then for other people. Because you were normally the person who brought minis. So.
Yeah.
And now that you're not going, that's why we started doing that. Because we're like, well, we don't really have minis now.
So we don't have minis now.
Yeah.
Damn it! Will's useful.
Yeah.
Who's Will?
Yeah. I never met him. Fuck. But I told Colton how last time we did D&D here that Slater was the first person to name drop him this time because he keeps asking if Ryan said anything yet because they used to work together, and apparently Ryan hates Colton. This is what Colton told me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And he's like Colton thinks that Ryan knows he's from like the Golden City area, Lamar area and stuff. So me saying Colton, might make him like, oh yeah, I know Colton, that asshole. They're friends on Facebook, but
that's funny.
But whenever I said that, the first time I met him, which was at Slater's, I was like, yeah, we met a new guy that all the guys worked with. I was telling him his name's Ryan. And he's like, what's his last name? I was like, oh, he had me on Facebook today. So I said, Ryan Cummins. I noticed you're a mutual friend. And he's like, and I was live streaming, so he just messaged me on Facebook. He's like, Dyson, Ryan fucking hates me. That was the message. Because he didn't want to say it live on stream or get out everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah,
he's like, that dude fucking hates me.
He fucking hates me. Yeah.
Did he tell you why? Or is it just work related?
He told me why. He thinks that Ryan hates him because I guess Ryan was married before.
Yeah, some shit went down. Yeah.
Colton said that his ex-wife used to flirt with Colton a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, Colton said she flirted with a lot of people and she was kind of a whore anyways. So. Colton's take.
Yeah. That could be. He's told me a little bit about that. The whole situation, how it went down, why he's back in this area because his parents live here.
Colton told me a part of the why they didn't stay together too. Yeah.
I would say it seems like
sucks,
he's maybe over it because I've seen him like kind of chatty Cathy, kind of flirtatious with some of the girls there.
Yeah. But he said Colton also told me he grew up in like the Jasper area, like he went to Jasper for school and stuff.
Correct.
So, and then he was like, "Do you remember whenever we'd go to the Mousetrap, like the science fairs? We go to science fairs. Colton do like the Mousetrap car and stuff like that. Every year there was someone who did the Mousetrap car and they'd always get like top 3 from Jasper, and it was
him.
It was Cox and Cummins was the last name of these two.
That's funny.
And Colton said that's Ryan. That was what he was the Cummins part, and we would always laugh every time at science fair when Cox and Cummins would pop up.
Cox and Cummins.
Snickering to ourselves because we're immature high schoolers.
Check it out. I'm flying as a bird, and my familiar is a sword.
And of course, I'm not gonna just say something like, "Hey, Colton McDonald," because I don't want to. I don't want to bring back bad memories and stuff.
See, that's
I don't want to instigate bad shit.
I do, but he's a good guy, and I don't want to.
Right. If he brings it up himself, I'll be like,
no.
Well, you don't have to associate with me as the same person. So as long as we're good, we're good. I don't give a shit.
What I really wanted to do is have either Colton already here and then Ryan walks in, or Ryan's already here and then Colton walks in. That's what I really want to happen. That's just like I like to see
Colton
shit happen in front of me. Like
Colton still hasn't had his surgery.
He still hasn't had. Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, COVID messed it up. But
does he even? He doesn't have an infection anymore, does he?
He still kind of does. he's on different medicine now because the medicine he was taking before ended up it stopped helping him, so he's back to taking like 40 pisses a day.
So like earlier, the cows are back. One got out, not a big fucking deal.
Right.
It got out. It can go back the way the same came in. You know,
Right.
I tell people that know who owns it, and if they tell them, that's their problem. I did my part.
Right.
So we're just sitting here chilling after dinner. You know, the boys are sitting on the couch, whatever. The wife was over here, you know, just chilling. And ding dong, she's like, the fuck? And she's like, she doesn't like answering the door late at night. Freaks the fuck out of her.
Right. Yeah.
She does it when I'm not home, but
right.
So she gets up and bolts.
Right.
Basically,
you know,
anxiety.
And so you're like, okay.
She just has that anxiety. She's great. She's good to people, but it's just late at night. She doesn't want to deal with people.
I mean,
and I don't blame her. I don't want to, but I have to.
Right. And late at night, it's like, who the fuck is ringing my door?
It was some fucking random woman, the gap between her teeth, looked like a cracked out tweaker. And she's like, you know, you got a cow in your yard? And I opened the screen door after that, and I leaned around the corner, and I'm like, yeah, I called the appropriate people. And she backed way the fuck off. She's like, okay, sorry. Because the dog came around and poked her head in between me and the door and barked. She's like, okay, sorry. I'm like, the fuck? Calm down, lady.
Definitely.
Besides,
some kind of tweaker to react.
GC tweaker, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck are you to knock on some random dude's door?
You got a cow in your yard.
Yeah, right?
It's like, yeah, it's.
Why don't you move over his butter then, bitch?
It's fucking Southwest Missouri. That's not.
It's gonna happen. Is that your first cow you ever seen, man?
When the fence is 40 feet away from your back door.
I know.
Where cows are. Every once in a while, a cow's gonna get in your fucking yard.
This is the third time it happened this summer, or the second time at least. I mean, shit fuck.
People annoy me.
Shit fuck, Freddy.
We've had people tell us before, like, are those your chickens? No. Because they come over thinking it's our chickens messing with shit and getting in their yards and stuff. It's like, no, those are Dennis's chickens.
I so want somebody to ask me, those chickens in your yards? Yeah, I just got them for the sacrifice. Want to join?
Like, no, those are our neighbor's chickens. It's like they're going to roam free and they're going to go back to his yard like they always do. They'll go back to their cage.
Okay, so here is where I made a revelation. I think I've already told you about it before off screen, way back. You might have forgotten what it is now, but I kibbered and of 33 years of age, and this episode was recorded maybe 6 months ago or so I was still 33 at the time. I still am.
Yeah.
The wolf form. You can swim underwater.
No. You realized it? Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, dirt.
Yeah, I think you did tell me that.
We talked about this in an episode before, because at one time you see me trying to jump up straight up, and I was not getting it. I'm like, I'm coming back to it later.
Yeah.
And as you see, I keep going to the map, and you'll see it just like fill in.
Right.
There's part of it. See, look, he swims. Ow. And that's probably like, you dumbass, you didn't know that.
Oh, man. So last weekend, it was, I guess it would have been the 3rd so Friday, I've been walking every day as, just to keep my heart healthy and to lose some weight and, try and slim down a little bit, kind of a deal.
I've been doing the same thing by not getting a belt for my riding mower and push mowing my whole 2-lot yard.
Yeah, that's good exercise.
It goes uphill one direction, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't tell when you ride it. You can tell when you push it.
Yeah, for real. But I get home on that Friday, so this would have been a week ago. I get home and it's like, it's 81 degrees upstairs, and we have it set to 73 on the AC. And I was like, maybe it's just that fucking hot outside, because it was fucking hot outside whenever I walked. I was like, it was fucking hot out there. I was like, maybe it's just super hot.
Not just like the other day or something?
Yeah, this was last Friday.
Okay.
So, I come in, I'm like, damn. And then later, like an hour later, my mom gives me a text. She's like, I just got this email from our AC people, and everything's connected to our solar panel, so they give us alerts whenever shit breaks.
Oh.
Including our AC or our heater or something. So it's like, so
cool.
Even if we don't have it on, you know, we'll know when
Yeah.
shit breaks. We'll be like, hey, something's up. So they send her an email and they're like, hey, the AC's been on for 4 fucking hours and it ain't cooling off. It's just getting hotter upstairs. And so I had to open all the windows, just turn the AC off.
Mm-hmm.
Guy wasn't going to get there till Monday. I was like, great, whole weekend of me sweating my ass off.
I got something to say about that one too. That's funny.
So I have to open up all the windows. I have fans going all the time. And that night, I'm playing games with my friends. I've had this Uncharted 4 PlayStation Gold wireless headset. But the way I record, I have to do it wired, like an aux cable, plugged into a aux cable that is plugged into the audio out ports of my TV. I could also just plug it into my PC and use OBS.
I'm almost done with Uncharted 4, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's a nice blue headset, because if I use it wirelessly, I couldn't record my friends' voices or any gameplay audio when I played games with them.
Okay.
So I have to do this stupid wired thing, and I have a USB mic plugged into my PlayStation so they can hear me. So I have a weird, crazy setup.
Okay.
I go to pick up my headset after I went to go, like, get a drink from downstairs and soak up a little more AC after a match. And I go back upstairs and I pick up my headset, like I always do, just like I did nothing different. And the headband up towards the top right just snapped. I just picked up and I was like,
the fuck?
So that's the only headset I have that works with my setup. So I'm wearing it and it's like loosely hanging on my right ear, and I could still hear enough. But I was just like, motherfucker. And Sunday, my mom and Lance, they go to the Mar, and I was like, I texted her something I needed. I was like, I sent her a screenshot of a certain headset, like a $40 headset, because if it has a detachable mic, then it will work with my setup. Because if I plug it in, like I hit for the audio output for the 3.5 millimeter, but that's also how the microphone goes through it, then it won't work. Because it's trying to send and
I have the
receive,
adapter
so
where you can plug
up.
in, if it's 2 wires, you can plug in both, and it plugs into a USB.
And it turns it on one,
Yeah,
or
it's a
USB, yeah.
I have one of those.
Because I tried to use that same Razer headset you have over there, I tried to use that, and
didn't work for you?
it's the microphone and the audio that goes through that one cable.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. Because I plug it into that thing, and I'm like, and I have the USB mic, so they can still hear me, my friends. And I'm like, hey, you guys hear me? And I hear, and I'm like, well, fuck. Because I kept on trying to.
That was pretty accurate. Can you do that again?
Yeah. So, because I was trying to find alternatives to loose ass hanging fucking thing. So I got something called like the Rig. Is what it was called, like the Rig 4000. It's like a black and white camo headset over there for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's like a $45 headset, and I was just like, I mean, it'll work with my setup and it'll work here, because I'd literally, before my headset broke, like probably a few hours before it broke, bought a new headset just to have another one, because it's like.
I do have 2 headsets.
Yeah.
Just in case one of
So I bought this one, and then a few hours later, this one breaks. I was like, well, this one was pissed off that I bought a new one, apparently, and decided to break. And this one is like one of those studio headphones.
Okay.
Bear Dynamics. Really, really good. I had to get the 32 ohm version, though, because of, headset impedance and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if I got the 600 ohm version and plugged it in my TV, I wouldn't have heard shit. Because the TV's not sending enough power to it. The 32 ohm version isn't even very loud with my TV, because the TV doesn't send a lot of power through for headphone stuff.
Gotcha.
But I plug it into my computer and was listening to videos and music and stuff today with it, trying it out, finally using it today, because I got it yesterday when I was at my dad's.
Okay.
Is when it showed up. So I'm using it today, and it's some of the best quality shit I've ever heard in my life. This headset's so fucking good.
Awesome.
So now I'm trying to learn how to record with OBS and this, but my fucking...
Just mowing them down.
Yeah.
I think I'm technically actually heading to one more spot that I need to discover via map, or I'm actually heading to the spot for Dracula, because
Gotcha.
I think at this point in the game I'm just...
But like, so with OBS, I found out when I'm recording with it, like, okay, everything sounds great, like the audio output and everything, and it's synced up completely perfectly because I have the HD 60s, so it's supposed to be seamless. It's like whatever I'm seeing on my TV is happening on OBS at the same time, and so is the audio. Everything is just synced up perfectly. There's no lag, nothing.
For some reason I'm going to the library.
Buy some stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sell some gems, buy some potions. I don't
yeah.
know.
And then
I really don't. I'm kind of confused right now.
so I'm doing that, and I'm testing out recordings, and everything sounds great. You know, it's all nice and loud, but not too loud, and everything sounds great when I'm playing my game. And then I realized that holy fuck, it's loud in the recording, and you can barely hear me talking whenever I'm playing the gameplay and stuff. Like, you can still hear me, but I'm quiet compared to how loud the gameplay stuff is. So now I'm trying to figure out new audio settings to fix that.
Yeah.
So you can still hear the gameplay, but it's not super fucking loud. I'm trying to figure out all this shit. So I went back to using that $45 headset that I got on Sunday, last Sunday, just plugging it into my TV and using that and recording through the Elgato software instead of OBS, because I'm like, I don't want to fuck with it right now. I've been messing with it for too long, doing test recordings and stuff. I'm just like, nope, I will do this on Monday or Tuesday when my friends will not be on. I don't have to, you know, play with anyone, and I can just fucking test stuff out. Because like Sunday, both of my friends are going to be off of work and wanting to play games all day, and I don't need to be messing with fucking bullshit all day. So I'm just gonna, and then
just enjoy the day.
Then I found out on Saturday, you know, this was the 4th of July. You know, I'm sweating my ass off, no shirt, about to take my shorts off and wear just underwear because it's so fucking hot without any AC. And I get an alert on my phone, like an email, and I'm like, it's like, congratulations, you won this giveaway. I won a fucking headset giveaway. And I was like,
jeez.
Have you ever heard of the brand HyperX? They're really good.
Okay.
I got a HyperX revolver. That's what I won. They're like really cool, and they're supposed to be fantastic. And I'm like, well, now I have 3 headsets, like working headsets that are broken. Now. So this one that I have, this one that's coming in, will be here Monday. That's the one I'm probably going to use as my main one. And this one that I have now that I bought, I'm going to use as like my computer one for when I watch videos and stuff. So whenever I'm watching late at night, I don't have to have my TV on.
Right, yeah.
And I don't have to like, because if I barely have it up, everyone in the house can still, like my mom's right below me.
So she's going to hear everything that's going on.
Yeah. So now I can like, and they won't hear nothing. And the audio quality is so good that it'll be awesome.
There you go.
So I was like, okay.
Set, man.
And it's also a backup headset for whenever I figure out OBS.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to be doing is going up to the teleport room and teleport to the portal that's at the south of the staircase to the other portal that goes to the upside down castle.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can go back to that portal underneath the staircase, which is above the staircase, essentially, at this point in time. And I can teleport to a specific portal. I think I have to do a couple of different, transports, because it just cycles. To one that's like just slightly above it or below it to the right or so. I can't remember exactly.
Right.
But it's just a quick hawking job.
Were you going to say something about AC break-in or something like that, like I said?
So, like, my parents, the house they live in was my father's mother's when we moved here from California to Missouri.
Yeah.
In fucking 92, 93.
Right.
Since then, the foundation of the house has just gotten worse because the ground slopes downward to the back right corner.
Yeah.
So when it rained all this fucking time, it just kind of gathered there. And then the huge cross beams that support the house underneath, they've all gotten so much moisture, and then they've sunken over time and cracked and broken. Okay. They finally had the funds to fix the house.
Right.
Because they don't necessarily need to move.
Right.
They got so much shit they don't need to move in the first place.
Right.
As the people there
one of the rare situations where it's less of a hassle to get it fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, and the money was there.
Right, yeah.
So when the guy was there replacing all the support beams, taking out the old, putting in the new, he accidentally cuts the AC vent line, and all the Freon just goes out.
Jesus.
Drains all the Freon out. Mom's pissed.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
They had to spend like, I think it was the weekend before 4th of July, like yours, but it was like that. But they had to spend like 4 or 5 days without AC, and it was hot as fuck that weekend as well.
Right.
But come to find out, they not only cut the line, they accidentally hit another line, so the AC whole central unit thing wouldn't work in the first place, even if they replaced that one. So they had to wait a couple more days.
Damn. Luckily, the downstairs still worked because we have 2 separate units.
Oh, okay.
One for the upstairs, one for the downstairs. So the downstairs one still worked.
It's not bad.
So going up the stairs, you'd get to like the 3rd step and you'd start to feel the heat from upstairs. You get to the 3rd from the last one up, and it just fucking hits you. You're just be like, holy fuck. It's so
it just makes it worse because heat rises in the first place.
Exactly.
And then in that room of yours, you have your computer and game systems,
and
running.
that's why I had my ceiling fan going full blast, and I had a fan circulating.
Several blocks fans, probably. Yeah.
And then I had another fan over by the open window.
Oh, Mika dog, you need to go outside, don't you?
Yeah, and we got...
You got 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Oh, you are just so impeccable on timing.
She just stare at daggers at you like, come on.
Look at those gorgeous eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm being facetious. I know you're like
you're not amused. The look she just gave me of like, listen, this dude, right?
You're not amused, are you?
Yeah, Huskies have a lot of personality, that's for sure.
This one sure does.
Something that annoys me with my dog is he'll see other dogs or people walking in the road. He's not supposed to be out in the road. And he doesn't like bark at him or anything like that, but he goes up to him, and it's like I have to yell at him so much, like Rex, like, and when he doesn't listen, it's like, all right. I have to threaten him, like, all right, I guess you're going back in the pen. And then he's like,
fucked it up,
and he runs back over to me. I'm like, that's what I fucking thought, buddy. But yeah, just dealing with people walking by, I'm just like, fuck. That's another reason I want to do it in the morning, because there'll be less people out walking around and shit. Because this morning was nice and fun. We played.
This morning was beautiful. The weather was great.
Dude, it was cloudy and cool, and there was a nice breeze and
then
everything.
Then 2 o'clock hit, and it was like, dun, 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 dun.
And I went out at like 7:30 to around 8:30, because that's when it was starting to drop again. But the humidity was so bad. I was like, fuck.
Jesus.
And then I was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. I was like, good thing I have witch hazel.
There you go.
Because that's what they're made. That's what witch hazel's for, is fucking bug bites. So
my dog's bugging me to go outside. I'm going to leave you with Dyson here for the next few moments. I'll be right back.
I can tell some other stories of stuff.
It's all fun stories.
Yeah. I'll just have to
This kid plays Magic now.
Yeah, I do. Been playing a lot of MTG Arena, mostly. And trying to add our friends, but the only one I've gotten added is Kibbs. He's the only one who's responded with the friend code. And then the other guys...
I think Soren just recently downloaded.
Soren said he still needs to go ahead and get MTG Arena. I don't know what Slater's deal is. Like, come on. But, yeah, I've been doing that. Recently made a new deck, and that's a black deck, and I named it Destroy Creatures. So every creature has Death Touch, or most of them do. Because I have some artifact creatures, but all the other creatures are black, and they all have Death Touch on them. Or can have Death Touch on them. It's a possibility. And then all my spells are for destroying people. Destroying creatures and stuff. It's really fun and cool. So I've been doing a lot of that awesome stuff. Having a good time with that. And if I get distracted, it's because Doctor Strange is on in the other room of his TV. And there's a fight scene happening right now. And I'm like... very intrigued by it because, Doctor Strange is actually a pretty dang good movie. You know what? I am ready for coronavirus to go away because I'm so inconvenienced by it. I never knew I'd be so mad about the inconvenience. I never knew I'd be so mad that I can't go inside, sit down, and eat at a restaurant or a fast food place even. I hate going through the fast food place, like drive-through, and eating in my truck. I hate it because it's so hot. All right, this is a black metal truck with a black interior. Eating food inside of it is not fun. And for whatever reason, to go like through the just all the bullshit is just so. They get stuff wrong way more, and I'm like, what is happening? They don't ever get it wrong whenever I'm inside. Like 99% of the time, they don't get stuff wrong when I'm inside. 40% of the time, they get stuff wrong if I go through the drive-thru, and it makes no sense. Like, please just get it right. Like, if I said it. It's that easy. I said the thing, and that's what you do, right? And I understand if when it's busy or something like that, but it has not been busy most of the time that I have stuff wrong. Whenever stuff is wrong, it's been busy, or I can tell that like the person was having a rough day or something. All good, you know. I'm not mad. I'm not even mad whenever they mess up and they shouldn't get it messed up. I get mad later, like now. Like I'm ticked off right now. Very ticked off. But that's all I'm really waiting for. Coronavirus to go away. I was telling him how mad I am that coronavirus is still around. I'm so inconvenienced by it. I just want to sit down and eat at a restaurant or fast food place. I'm tired of eating in my truck. Or driving 10-15 minutes back to where my dad lives from the fast food places in Carthage to find out the food's messed up or it's cold now or something. It's a hassle, and I hate it.
It's a goddamn hassle.
That was the main thing I talked about the whole time.
Okay.
Bitching about how inconvenienced I am by coronavirus. Hope it goes away. But being in an election year, it'll be gone in November.
Okay, so like, I've been one of the many people that apparently use TikTok just to watch videos. Okay, I don't make videos. I don't like using my face in videos, right?
Oh yeah.
If I did, I'll be using one of the masks I have.
You're not ready for it to go away.
What? Coronavirus?
No, TikTok. Yeah.
If it goes away, it goes away. Shit happens,
right?
Right?
Yeah. Well, hey, so if you have it on your phone, they can literally see the order that you press buttons in on other apps. So like your password, or like the swiping patterns you do. If it's a swipe and stuff like that, they can literally do that stuff, and it literally says it in the terms of service when you hit agree. You know, it's in there because it has to be in there if it's going to be in other countries. In China, they don't have to say that.
I skim it a couple times and whatnot, but
right.
I'm about to get rid of it actually here pretty soon.
There's a lot of shit.
Because there's.
I'm still curious to see how we're doing as a state, Missouri, in suing China. Because Missouri sued China about them lying about coronavirus and stuff like that.
That's funny.
Like a month or two ago.
So I stop here at a certain point to get a certain block, that one there. I turn around and go down the other way, right? Because as soon as I drop in that hole is when I completed the map. And then this is when I get to...
I'm guessing we see it pop here pretty...
You'll see it pop up, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see the trophy pop, heck yeah. I love trophies.
It's boop, boop. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
Map Legend.
Map Legend, yeah.
That was really loud, sorry, we're pretty close to the screen.
We had those...
We have a small preview screen, because
yes.
Kibbs' actual desktop video card went to shit.
You could make it bigger, but you'd have to make this part small.
Much more smaller, yeah.
Yeah, and you could change it back later, but it's just like whatever.
Inconvenient.
We can see enough right now.
Yeah.
And we can actually make out the words in the chat box, but the trophy part was so small that we were like, what the fuck does that say?
It's pretty minuscule.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, I got my July Platinum taken care of.
What did you get this time?
It was a word puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
And it was like 2 hours of my time, and it was nice casual fun, and got my platinum trophy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep.
There you go.
Are
the June game or the August games out yet? For
the July ones are. It's the Rise of the Tomb Raider, NBA 2K20, and some game called Erica.
I've actually heard that game Erica was pretty good.
I've heard it's pretty good too, and you have to like make decisions on your phone, like you play partially on your phone and stuff.
Like your actual phone?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But you also use your controller for stuff, and it's like live action, like film, like kind of game. Yeah, it's a weird game. I think the story's good.
I just owned Shaft in like 2 seconds. With this,
Yeah,
you know.
get fucked.
Because technically, I did level up a couple times
Shaft.
since last time we fought Dracula.
Oh,
It
yeah.
took so long.
Yeah.
But and remember how I made the comment how I could have killed him faster before he did his like back off away, and then he came up weird and whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
I believe I do achieve that this time. I kill him before he does any like big attack. Like this is weird swipey bullshit, you know, swiper no swiper.
Like one of the big boss, like big villain reveals in a show, and
When
then
I first
the
played this-
hero's just like, just bitch slaps him. It's like, you done, bitch.
When I first played this game,
powerful.
when it first came out and everything on PS1, I didn't know about these weapons. You know, it wasn't until after I played it more extensively, after I beat it,
Right.
that I figured a lot of this crap out. And then eventually I did, you know, look up a lot of shit. I had like a good weapon, but it was a basic ass bitch, and I believe Dracula probably took me a good 30 minutes to kill him.
Right.
Yeah. If this was the first time playthrough, this episode would have been like an hour and a half.
Some crazy shit's going on right now, though. Boy, howdy. You fighting Dracula?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Jesus,
Just
look at
scoot
all
over.
the numbers, yeah.
Yeah, and if you get hit, you just gotta jump over real quick, but you just gotta be careful what he does. But I get him here in a second. The rest of this episode, I'll be honest with you guys, boom, there it is. The rest of this episode is just gonna be the ending that you saw before, but it's gonna be the best good ending you can get.
Gotcha.
Last good ending is when Richter Belmont was still alive, Maria was still alive,
Yes.
and you ran off into the unknown dark sunset, and
You're like going back to sleep or something.
essentially you're
Yeah.
just going because you're a lost soul, right, or some stupid shit like that. And the best good ending you can get, my English as well.
Right, yeah. I do words good.
I articulate goods. It's Chris Squeagle telling you about Dracula's.
Yeah.
This game's been out forever, so you should know what happens. But like Maria runs off after Alucard and leaves Richter behind, and he's all cool with it. He's like, "I understand. You must go where your heart tells you."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I got that bitch off my hands."
Yeah.
He's just tired of her. I get out of
She
here.
ran in the goddamn castle, and she didn't do any goddamn good. Fucking vampire rescued me. All she did is give me the stones.
Yeah, I guess with Castlevania, like the first one chronologically, it's the like the first Belmont, Leon.
Like the first there one, yeah.
And his best friend was some guy. His first name starts with an M and his last name starts with an M.
Yeah.
And you're going to go kill some other master vampire, and towards the end of the game, you figure out who the real mastermind behind everything is, and it's your best friend, and he's Dracula.
Yeah, he's Dracula the whole time.
He's becoming Dracula. He's not actually Dracula yet, but it's like, oh, so that's what the Belmonts are. So
It's
like,
a good story with
after,
a fucking twist, you know.
And he's the one who kidnapped Leon's wife, and then Leon's wife sacrifices herself to put her soul into the whip, the metal chain
family
whip
that comes down,
and
which for some reason in the game is a leather whip until you upgrade it like twice,
right,
and then it's boom, long chain,
and then that's why.
So
and that's why it's able to kill monsters and vampires, because her soul's in it.
So Richter just admitted that if he wasn't so much of a bitch, he could have done it on his own. But
right,
he's like, not so.
He's like, I'm not Simon or Leon or Trevor.
Fuck these bitches.
And in the most recent Castlevania, that was like a 3D fighter one where you actually play as Dracula. It's not canon. It's like a different timeline.
Okay.
Dracula is a Belmont.
So what now, Alucard? The blood in my veins is cursed. Best of the world if I disappear now and forever, right?
Right.
As before. It said it every single time.
And she says Soka.
Nani?
Because that's I see in Japanese. That's one of the few things in Japanese I know from anime.
Are you going after him or not? He's just totally cool with his lady going bye-bye to be with an undead dude.
Mm-hmm.
See? Hurry up. It's alright. Go catch him. If you run now, you can hold his hand.
Yeah.
Thank you for my freedom.
Right.
And boom, off in the sunset.
There we go.
Well,
Look at
thank
that.
you for enjoying the story of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. There, I said it again correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay tuned for more series.
It's on screen that time.